What on earth could be more luxurious than a sofa, a book, and a cup of coffee? Anthony Trollope may have made this observation, but it holds good in 21st century as well. No doubt, the new age gadgets are providing a platform to read online, but it gives a little reason to visit a bookstore and purchase a book. A bunch of young entrepreneurs have taken it upon themselves to rekindle the pleasure of reading a real book by creating ambience of a bookshop in their cafes. A new chapter seems to have started for reading culture in the valley, the old world romantic charm of reading. All these new gen cafes have become the talk of the town, and they are successfully promoting reading culture, especially among youth. Javed Parsa is one such entrepreneur who started Kati Junction, a cafe with a book rack in the heart of the Srinagar city.
We started this fast food joint around 19 months back, post floods, and when we were very close to celebrating our first anniversary, that was on 31st of October 2015. I thought, okay, we served a lot of customers, we made a good money, but it's time to give back something. So we came up with this book bank idea. Some of my friends, they started with this support. So I started running a campaign on Facebook asking people to donate their used books for the cafe. And within around 1.5 months, we got around 250 books.
It was like when I first came here and Javed told me about this book bank he's starting. And I was excited because यहाँ पे बहुत कम है reading culture है लोगों में, and so I was very happy to see that, to hear that कि हाँ he is starting a book bank here.
Youngsters drop in at Kati to have coffee and pick up a light read.
I've always been an avid reader, and I hope so I continue to do for some time. I've been lucky to have my parents who buy me books, and all my pocket money used to go on buying books. I visited Kati Junction with my mother, and I saw this book corner. This week I'll be issuing the Da Vinci Codes. I've read Angels and Demons and I loved it, so I can't wait to start reading this.
By introducing books in cafes, it instantly and involuntarily introduces one to book. As there are limited employment opportunities in Kashmir, these cafes, which are public plus commercial places, have become a new way of earning that young entrepreneurs are turning to. Books, discussions, food, and chat. That means a perfect hub of intellectual exchange. Mujtaba Rizvi, who co-owns Goodfellas Cafe, is another entrepreneur in the line.
The reading culture is probably not evolved as much as it should have in Kashmir. There has been a lack of social spaces where people can go pick up a book and read. Reading, which we felt that is very important to, anybody's development of the imagination. Upstairs, we are planning a full-fledged, like a larger library. We will expand it into upstairs. We have an attic space. It's quite cozy. It's quite quiet and calm. It's also got a very nice view of the Jhelum River.
A cafe book culture is like a cake with entrepreneurship. Its base, a social responsibility, the creamy layer, and a dash of activism, its topping. What's interesting is that these outlets are so famous that they have prompted big publishing houses like Gulshan Books to enter into the line and open its own book-cum-coffee houses at the famous Nehru Park situated in Dal Lake.
I have not gone to many cafes, but recently I had a chance of visiting Gulshan Books on the famous Nehru Park. But I thought it was an ideal situation whereby not only students but even commoners, they can go and sit in the restaurant, sip coffee, and at the same time scan the whole world of books at there. That मुझे लगता है that is really going to boost the reading habits of today's youth, in spite of the fact there are so many distractions of internet, of mobile phones, of tabs or whatever. But the pleasure you get from reading the book, you can't get that pleasure from anywhere else. And one way to bring that back or increase that interest in the students, in the common people, is to have a bookshop in the midst of very alluring attractive surroundings. And when I was looking down from the restaurant down, I saw the whole water world and then the world of nature around, and you can sit there and read the book. There can't be any better way of attracting people and students to reading books than this.
The bookworms love to come here and surround themselves with the sweet-smelling books mixed with aroma of food. For some people, they may not have a reason to visit the bookstores, but to visit a cafe, they don't need a reason.
रीडिंग रूम युस असी येते छु थोमुत बे कैफे शॉप यु छु असी बिल्कुल कंबाइनस मजन थोमुत कैज के कॉफी कपा रोट कंसी येतनस तो रीडिंग खतर छन असी मतलब काह ते मेंबरशिप थमस टोटली न के रीडिंग रूमस मजन ते छ असी मोर देन 1500 बुक्स थैमत तिम यम स्पेशली कश्मीरस पे फोकस करन जम्मू कश्मीरस पे फोकस करन कश्मीर ज़बान मज छ किताब थैमत उर्दूस मज छ किताब थैमत तम बगैर छ मतलब कुरान शरीफ छ पन सह प्रत कुछ ज़बान मज हिंदीस मज थोमुत उर्दूस मज थोमुत इंग्लिशस मज थोमुत रोमनस मज थोमुत बाइबल छ थमस ये रीडिंग रूमस मज भगवद गीता छ थमस महाभारत छ थमस इसलिए अस बड़ न्यूट्रल थोमुत रीडिंग रूम तो बुक शॉप तो.
Despite their small yet different collection, the other side next to Kathi Junction is too famous for food rather than books.
आजकल का यूथ वो लाइब्रेरी भी पढ़ते हैं साथ साथ फूड भी खाते हैं, तो मैंने देखा है जो नया जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसमें ज़्यादा फोकस हमारी लाइब्रेरी पे हो रहा है, तो उससे हमारी सेल्स पे भी, जैसे गेस्ट कोई बुक पढ़ता है उसके साथ कुछ लेता भी है तो इट ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीज आवर सेल्स.
There is lack of public libraries in our valley. Like we don't have any public libraries. When we go outside, you'll see a person starts his day with reading a newspaper, reading a book in his hand while traveling from his home to office. They read a book. But then we did not have such kind of public book banks here. And since the majority of people who visit my place, they're youngsters only. So I thought, why not to give them a gift?
This place is very good. If we talk about books, the concept of KJ Book Bank is actually very innovative and creative. You can come here, you can take your choice of books, and you can take it home. All you have to do is you have to come, you have to choose your books. You don't have to pay for it. That's the best thing, I guess, for a teenager, like pocket money issues. So I can read my choice of books without paying for them.
See, when you look around, you have a lot of places which offer gaming facilities. There are gaming zones in Srinagar. But Book Bank was its very first of its kind initiative that none of the cafes had offered before. In fact, we have some cafes who have books for reading. But then our Book Bank has its own identity. We lend books, and all these books are donated by people. We have not purchased them. So this Book Bank has its specialty that we give away books for 7 days. And people get benefited out of it. And it's always good to share your used books, because once you read it, there is no point that you read it again.
I don't think there will be people who will visit cafes for reading books. Cafes will only provide you an ambience. You go there, you see a title, it's quite familiar, you just take a book in your hand and then see the title page, scan and put the book back, and you get down to the cup of coffee or cup of tea. They have a role. They have a role in the sense that something that's forgotten, something that's considered as a relic of the past. Now, we don't see people quite often with books in their hand.
I would talk about myself, right? I am not a customer. I'm not a customer here. I don't come here merely for having fun or eating, something like that. But I actively borrow books from here, you know. In a month, I would spend rupees 700 to 800 to buy different books. And, but after I discovered this place, it has helped me so much. Like, I find every kind of book here, and that is seriously a great job.
The problem with us is that why has our thinking gone so shallow? The reason is that whether you are in Kashmir or you are elsewhere, wherever you are, through whichever gadget you read your book, it does have an impact on your mind.
Conflict has consumed our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health. Most of the students are mentally terribly disturbed. Not only students, all the people are disturbed, and that has led to a lot of disruption in the reading of the people, because they are not able to concentrate because of the continuous violence which is playing out in the outer circumstances. Even if the child is inside home, he is all the time aware that something is going outside. That leads to a lot of disruption of his reading.
Cafe, like Books and Bricks, is a place where anyone can walk in, maybe order something to eat or drink, or simply read or buy a book or two. But if you want to read inside, nobody will stop you.
They've started this cafe in which you have books, you have coffee, a person can just sit across, read his favorite book if he has it, and they even get you the books in case you want some kind of a book. You can just tell them I want this book, and they try and figure it out for you. They source it out for you, they can sell it to you. It's not a problem for them. They try their best. I mean, I've myself got a couple of books from them. I mean, books I liked and I couldn't find them anywhere. They helped me source it. And this is one of the books which actually they sourced me. They helped me source it. I tried a lot to get it, but I couldn't. But they helped me with it. So in together, it's like a package. Like you said, like I have this corner of mine. Like it's more like I call it my corner. So it's like I come here, I sit in this corner, I have my own book. I get it here, I sit down, I order food, I order whatever I want. And the best part is I get coffee. So it's like me, myself, and my book.
It's basically an American diner, which was opened like 4 months ago. And it is an American diner plus a book cafe, where people come read books. They can borrow, buy, and even lend us books as well. So yeah, food and books. This is actually to do something different actually, because we've done the interiors ourselves. So maybe something that goes with the theme and which is cost effective at the same time and different. That's it. Because it does go with the theme. These are Reader's Digest books, collector's edition.
Reading has been there for a while, but in cafes it's a new concept, and I think people are liking it well. You can see from the kind of crowd you get at all times of the day. So I think it's picking up well, and it's a new thing. New spaces need to come up. From the last 20-25 years, we all know that there was a huge lack of spaces in Kashmir, and now young people are coming up with spaces like concepts like these. It's good, and people need encouragement.
Around some 50 kilometers from Srinagar city, Costa Nostra is the first fast food outlet of Shopian.
पहले तो था ही नहीं शोपियान में कभी, मतलब ऐसा कुछ था ही नहीं शोपियान में. मैंने स्टार्ट किया, मुझे अच्छा रिस्पॉन्ड आ रहा है, मतलब कैफ़े के भी और बुक्स का भी अच्छा आ रहा है मुझे. मतलब लोग आते हैं पढ़ने के लिए, कॉफ़ी पीते, बुक्स पढ़ते, आधा 1 घंटा बैठते हैं यहाँ पे बुक्स पढ़ने के लिए, घर ले जाते हैं लोग बुक्स पढ़ने के लिए.
A society that promotes debate and reading is known to be a civilized society.